into the mock turtle soup. He cast a discreet eye over his tables, looking for the dropping of hands, the setting down of cutlery that would signal he was needed, and sighed. Everything was confusing now. He had recognized one of the pair of diners from before the war, the widow of a wealthy brick manufacturer, and her spinster sister, who lived in a large villa on a hill above the town. Kind women, who appreciated fine service, who blushed at a carefully dispensed compliment, who always left a little gratuity hidden under the napkin. He had made a mistake today, exclaiming at seeing them after so long, trying to kiss their gloved hands. They had responded with squeezed lips, their eyes darting and anxious, like a blow to the ribs. He understood why the hotel manager had been hesitant and cruel in hiring him back. 2 months' trial only, and an instruction to keep his mouth shut as much as possible. Klaus had been hurt, almost to the point of refusing. Before the war, a German waiter commanded the greatest respect. But what was the point of standing on his pride? After 6 humiliating months in the internment camp, and banned from returning to the coast, he had nearly starved in London, scratching for whatever job they would give to a German. He remembered the long steaming hours at the sink, washing dishes in a men's hostel, waiting tables at an asylum where an inmate might thank you for the supper or throw it in your face. A pallet on the cellar floor in exchange for working in a boarding house dining room, to return home to Hazelbourne on sea. He needed this job and the room that came with it. He wondered, as a tremor ran down his spine, where he would go now if the 2 women, or the young girl, made a complaint. In the lobby of the Meredith Hotel, Constance Haverhill paused, pretending to admire the flowers in the towering urn on a marble table at the foot of the grand staircase. The reception desk seemed busy with a large party arriving and 2 or 3 gentlemen chatting to the concierge. Her ejection from the dining room fresh, she felt too humiliated to push herself forward to the centre where the clerk would offer her the menu of the day, and she would be forced to publicly decide between broth or fish paste on toast, and then accept the plain dinner and one of the 3 rotating puddings, most of them custard. On their first night, she and Mrs. Fogg had dined together, but dinner had been taken in her room these last 3 days, and Constance was tired of the lingering smell of gravy and the awkward waiting for the used tray to be removed. There would be plenty of time in the years to come to feel the limits of a life as a spinster. Lady Mercer, who fancied herself Constance's patron and had sent her to the seaside to look after Mrs. Fogg, her mother, had been loud in her opinion that now, with the war over and women no longer needed in men's professions, Constance would be well advised to take up as a governess. Joining the family once a week for dinner with the children, trays in one's room when important guests came to dine, sharing one's room on occasion if there were too many ladies' maids at a weekend party. Constance shivered at the thought. As a young girl, she had seen the governesses come and go, for Lady Mercer couldn't seem to keep one, and when one left, Constance's mother would be called in to help during the transition. On those occasions, Constance would go with her mother to the big house and join in the lessons with Rachel, their daughter. Her mother and Lady Mercer had been schoolgirls together, and though the former married a farmer and the latter a lord, they maintained the fiction of a lifelong affection of friends and equals by never allowing the crudeness of money to come between them. Constance's mother had never received a wage for the many services she had provided under the guise of friendship and the patronage of the Clive Hill estate. Instead, there was always a small velvet bag of sovereigns at Christmas, the discarded dresses of prior seasons, a supply of preserved fruit that she and Constance helped the kitchen put up every summer. There were invitations to hunt balls and to fill out the numbers at some of the less distinguished dinners held in